Hello students, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to education class for class 11. So today we will be doing with the first chapter of your textbook, that is in page number 11. Okay, so before we go into the lesson, right after appearing your metric exam and you got through and now you are in class 11, so class 11 and 12 will be a new experience for you, right? So this is different from your high school, and then this stage is also very important because this is preparing you to enter college, isn't it? So you are no more a student of high school, but you are a higher secondary student. So just like that, your mind, your understanding should also develop likewise. Okay, so before we look into the lesson, the concept of education, let me ask you a question. Why education? Why are we studying education, the subject called education, in class 11? So see, students, you're in class 11 and the teachers or the curriculum, the policy makers will not give you something of a 7 or an 8-year-old, isn't it? According to the right age or your understanding, the teachers, the policy makers, and then the experts, they'll try to give you the concepts, right? So that is why education should be systematic in nature, isn't it? So that is why we need to understand why education, or why do we need to study education. Okay, so we all know that we go to school to get knowledge, isn't it? So knowledge may be in the form of your maths or your science, your history, your essays, whatever subject it might be. It gives you some idea about this world or the workings of this world, right? So we go to school to get knowledge, and when you get knowledge, what happens? You get understanding of that particular idea, concept, or subject, isn't it? So you become more understanding and you get some skills. So what are skills? Before you go to school, or when you enter nursery class, then you don't know how to read or write, right? But the teachers, they will hold the pen and then they'll let you write, and then that is how from practice you learn how to read, you write, and then you can speak also, isn't it? And you're able to, in the later part, you're able to read on your own, isn't it? So those are the skills that you attain, and as you grow older, as your class get bigger and bigger, then many other concrete or complex skills will be developed in you. Okay, and then you develop interest also. What is interest? Some of you might like maths or science subject, and some of you might like English, or some of you might be liking education, right? So interest also differs from student to student, right? But we all have an interest, we know that, right? So that is developed, and then the right attitude is also developed, and critical thinking is developed. So what is critical thinking? You're able to differentiate between what is wrong and what is right. You can also make independent decisions without anybody's help. You can be able to survive certain situations, and then you become more smarter, in short, we can say like that, right? So that is why education is very important. If education was not important, then we would all be living the life of how early men used to live before, right? But in order to have that refinement in us, or in order to have that understanding about the world, we try to get education, right? So it might be in the form of the things that your parents teaches you at home, or the concepts or ideas that you learn in the school or the college. So everywhere you are learning something or the other, right? So that is why education is important. And if you look into the textbook, they have given the meaning of education. So the meaning of education is derived from two Latin words. So those are educatum, 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 and then the next word is educere, educere. So educatum and educere. So what is educatum? This is, the meaning is to teach or to give training. Okay, and then the meaning of educere is to bring forth or to lead out. Okay, so combining to this two meaning, what do you understand? Because in order for you to get to school, there has to be a teacher, isn't it? And then the teacher will give you some kind of training, isn't it? So that is educatum. And then educere. What do you become when you get those ideas and trainings and things that you learn in the school? Then you develop into a new individual, a more understanding individual, a smarter individual, isn't it? So that is the meaning of education. The teacher will be there and the teacher will help the students to bring out the best of the students. Okay, so those are derived from the Latin word. Okay, so this will be important from your exam point of view also. This, you're in class 11 and this is your starting point. So the teacher in the classes will give you general instructions, but it will be the duty of the student to look into the textbook and have deeper understanding. Okay, so now you have understood about the meaning of education and why education is important. Okay, so when you look into the textbook, they have given very elaborate and deep definitions about Western philosophers as well as Indian philosophers and educationists. So first, let us try to understand what Western philosophers and educationists are saying. So what are philosophers and educationists? Those are learned people, very educated people, and they try to make educational policies for their own country and in fact for the whole world also, right? So because of their writings and because of the knowledge that they have shared with the world, we try to understand the concept of education. Okay, so some of the definitions that are given in your textbook are given by Aristotle, Plato, John Adam, Nunn, and then Redden, Pestalozzi, Froebel, and then John Dewey. So these people, they have given very elaborate definition of the concept of education. When you look into the definition given by Aristotle, he says that education is creation of a sound mind in a sound body. So the mind should be sound and then the body, physical body should also be proper. Then only education or learning can take place. Okay, so that is the definition given by Aristotle. And then when you look into the definition given by Plato, he says that pleasure and pain are part of life. So see, we don't always feel happy, we don't always feel sad, but the human life is consisted of a lot of emotions combined together, right? So we go through pleasure and pain, and then it is the duty of education to make it into perfection. So education will help us to differentiate between the right and the wrong, the pleasure and the pains of life, and then give it a perfection. That is what Plato says. And when you look into the definitions given by John Adam, Nunn, Redden, and Pestalozzi, and all these people, their definition is also very elaborate. You can try to look into the textbook and have an understanding. So you will, if you try to look into your definitions, then you will get the idea, the concept of education better. Okay, and students, if you are planning to pursue education as honors in your BA or your ML level, then these people, John Adam, Nunn, Pestalozzi, this will frequently come into your syllabus. Okay, so it is very important to know their definitions. So when you look into the Western philosophers, they have focus on development of the child, and then they're also saying that education, the process of education is a controlled environment. So see, what do you mean by controlled environment? The school is a controlled environment, isn't it? You are supposed to behave in a certain manner, isn't it? You are supposed to obey the teacher, respect the teacher, or you're supposed to learn the things that are taught to you, right? So that is known as controlled environment. And then education is also fulfillment. What is fulfillment? You have certain things in mind, or your parents must be having certain aims for you, right? So all those things will be fulfilled through education. And then the Western philosophers, they're also saying that education is communication. So what is communication? By communication, we try to understand one another, right? So the teacher in the classroom will give instruction to the students or the concept to the students, and the students will try to learn it. And sometimes when the students don't understand, they'll ask the teacher, right? So that is how communication is taking place inside the classroom, right? So those are the things that were said by the Western philosophers. And let us come into the Indian philosophers, thinkers and educationists. So what do Indian people think about the concept of education? So in the textbook they have given definitions from the Bhagavad Gita, the Rig Veda, Kautilya, and then we have Rabindranath Tagore, we have Swami Vivekananda, and then we have Mahatma Gandhi. So what does those people say about the concept of education? If we look into this, the Gita, the Rig Veda and Kautilya, these are to do with the ancient times, isn't it? So these people, even the Bhagavad Gita says that getting wisdom, getting knowledge is the purest form of blessing on this earth. That means if a person becomes educated, then he becomes learned. He is, the Gita, it says that the person becomes very pure when he or she gets education. Okay, and if you look into Kautilya's writing, then he also focused on the importance of education. And it is also said that even to this time also, even during the present times also, his writings are relevant in the field of education as well as management. So this may be ancient writings, but it is said that they are still relevant today. And if you look into some modern thinkers and educationists, then we have Rabindranath Tagore. You must have heard about him, right? So he is a very famous Indian. He was a freedom fighter. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature, right? So he is a great writer, also a great artist, and he went to London to study. So he also talked about the importance of education in one's life. Okay, and then we have Swami Vivekananda. So what does Vivekananda say about the concept of education? He says that man is already perfect. God has already made man perfect, but it is the manifestation of this perfection. So how does this manifestation of the already perfect human being comes? It is through education. Okay, so God has already made man perfect, but through education it is made more perfect, it seems. And what about Gandhi? Gandhi says that education is all-round development. So what is all-round development? The body, it is to do with our physical, the mind and the spirit. So the emotional, the intellect and the physical things, all-round development is being taken care of by education. So we see that, be it Western philosophers or Indian philosophers, they've all talked about the importance of education in an individual's life. So education is really important. Okay. And here, the Indian philosophers, they have focused on motivation of the students. So the Indian philosophers, they are of the opinion that the students should be motivated, the students should be interested, then only education or learning can take place, right? So those are some of the definitions given by Western and Indian philosophers. Now when you go into the next concept that is given in the textbook, they talk about the salient features of education. So what are the salient or the important features of education? It is said that one very important aspect is that education is systematic. So what do you mean by systematic? Like I told you earlier, you are in class 11, so we don't give you concepts that are learned by small children, right? But according to the right age, the right situation and the right stream, we give you the right form of education, right? So we can say that education is systematic. And then the next feature is that education is pre-planned. So you took new admission in class 11, but before you sat in class 11, the policy makers, the teachers and the educationists, they've already planned the textbook for you. What kind of knowledge that you should learn, it is already pre-planned, right? So that is one very important feature of education. And the next one is instruction. So some kind of instruction takes place when education is occurring, isn't it? So the teacher will give instructions and the students will listen, isn't it? So that is another feature of education. And when you look into the next feature, then it says that education consists of two individuals. So who are the two individuals? The teacher and the pupil. So for example, right now also I am teaching, but if there are no students listening to me, then what is the point of giving instruction, right? So the teacher is very important and the student is also very important. For example, you go to school or you college and then there's no teacher inside the classroom. Then the education is not proper, isn't it? So both the teacher and the pupil are very important in education, okay? And then we can also say that the teacher is the mature being, he is the mature being, and the student is the immature being, okay? So that is it. And then education is also positive change. So when we say change, change can be sometimes negative, sometimes it may be positive also, right? But the whole purpose of giving education is positive influence, okay? So influencing the students in the right way, okay? And then we can also say that education leads to adjustment. So what is adjustment? As you grow older, as you become more understanding, you try to adjust with certain situations, you try to adjust with your friends, right? And then you try to adjust with the kind of environment that you're living, right? So it means that you're becoming more understanding, isn't it? So education will give you that adjustment, okay? And then it is also said that education is a means and it is not an end. So what do you mean by that? It is said that if you stop going to school, then education will not stop, because see, your elders will give you some kind of training or some kind of knowledge, right? So that is also part of education. Education doesn't mean only the things that you're learning in school, but the overall things that are happening to you. So it is not an end, but it is a means only, okay? So those are some of the salient or important features of education. And if you try to look into some of the synonyms of education, so what is synonyms? Synonyms means same in meaning, okay? So some of the synonyms are vidya, gyan, shiksha, and then pedagogy. So vidya, shiksha, gyan, these are all taken out from ancient Indian writings, okay? So they talk about knowledge, they talk about the teacher, and then they talk about discipline, okay? So what is pedagogy again? If you're studying the subject education and if you're planning to pursue it for your higher studies, the word pedagogy, remember students, the word pedagogy will come to you every now and then, okay? So what is pedagogy? Pedagogy means the method of teaching. Okay, so we the teachers, we follow a certain method to teach you, to make you more understanding, right? So that is nothing but pedagogy, okay? So some of the things that we learn today are the meaning of education, why education is important. We also learned about the definitions given by Western and Indian philosophers. We also tried to understand the salient or the important features, and then the synonyms of education, right? So that is it for this session, and then we will continue the rest of the lesson in the next session. Thank you so much.